time for Friday Night Flights. Now, here's Sports Director Bruce Rader.
Tonight it begins, the road to high school football's biggest prize, a state championship. For half the teams, it means turning in your gear, thinking about what might have been, while the other half moves on to play another week. Who were the winners? Who were the losers? Let's find out. Friday Night Flight starts now. I'm Bruce Rader, and welcome to the special playoff edition of Friday Night Flights, as 46 teams from Hampton Roads took the field tonight, hoping to be one of 6 teams to win 5 more games and bring home high school football's ultimate prize, a state championship trophy. We begin tonight with the top seed in Group 6A, unbeaten Ocean Lakes, the champions of the Beach District and the 13th ranked high school team in America. Their first round opponent, Bethel from Hampton, Ocean Lakes in gold, and right from the start, Ocean Lakes proves its dominance as Justin Smith takes it over for the score. The Ocean Lakes defense would force a 3-and-out and get the ball back, and then quarterback Brandon O'Neill with the screen to Jock Allen, and Allen would rumble his way in for a big gain. 2 plays later, O'Neill would keep him himself. He scrambles up the middle for another big gain, and Ocean Lakes is now in the red zone, and that is when Coach Chris Scott gives it to Arizona State-bound running back Jason Lewis. The big guy rumbles in from 9 yards out for the score, and this game was over before it began. Bethel had no answer for the Ocean Lakes offense. O'Neill slings one to Levante Taylor, and check out the nice move by Taylor. He gets a few blocks and is finally dragged down 32 yards later, leaving time for one more touchdown. O'Neill to Keith Taylor this time for the score, as Ocean Lakes, the top overall seed in the region, remains undefeated with tonight's 42-0 victory over the Bruins. Staying in the 6A South, another state championship contender, Oscar Smith, the 2 seed, hosting Woodside from Newport News, and this would be a rout. Tigers wearing blue, backed up in their own territory. No problem. 82 yards from sophomore Sean Mitchell to Anthony Ellett for one of Elliott's 2 touchdowns. 345 yards passing for Mitchell tonight. How about Mitchell again? And watch this great grab by Larry Chappell in the corner of the end zone. One sophomore to another, as Oscar Smith scores 8 straight touchdowns. Woodside moves the ball pretty well, but they only found the end zone once. Devontae Beckett here with the big hit. And how about star running back Deshaun McLee, 16 carries, 144 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as Oscar Smith rolls to a 52-7 win over Bayside. And now back to the beach, where Cox, the 3 seed in the 6A South, looking for their first playoff win in school history. The Falcons hosting 6 seed Bayside, a team they beat earlier this year. Bayside in red, down 22-0 at the half, of the Marlins put together a nice drive, nice catch by Jaquan Wilson. He gets his hands under the ball just as it hits the ground, but Cox would get the ball back. And watch this nice misdirection play to sophomore running back Khalib LeBourne. This young player has had a great season. He picks up 36 yards on the run. The Falcons would not waste the great run by LeBourne. A few plays later, the fullback Colin Sherman, he plows his way in for the touchdown. Cox now up by 22, and then their defense would do the rest. Cox has a very strong defensive front. This is the senior Donnell Story using all of his 300 pounds to sack the quarterback, and sophomore Jack Camper is going to come up with yet another sack for the Falcons, as Cox gets his first ever playoff win, holding off a late rally from Bayside to get the victory. Rounding out the 6A South, the 5th seed Western Branch Bruins on the road against the 4th seed Kickintan. Western Branch feeling good about this one. Western Branch up by 7. Kickintan and Green can't get anything going in the first half. Quarterback Desmond Savage tries to hit Jason Fugit, but coughs the ball up, and the Bruins recover. And although this touchdown by Corey Gray would give Western Branch a 14-0 halftime lead, Kickintan would rally back with 20 unanswered points, and Kickintan would eliminate Western Branch tonight 20-14. Quarterfinal action in Group 5A. The 8-2 Salem Sun Devils, the top seed, hosting the 2-8 Princess Anne Cavaliers. The Sun Devils in black get on the board first. Salem's dynamic duo, Jarrell Lightbody to Malik Butts. Butts breaks a few tackles as he scampers 80 yards for the touchdown. This Salem team can beat you in oh so many ways. Jamal Bowman gets into the act. He breaks free for the 20-yard touchdown for another Sun Devils score as the Salem defense pitches a shutout and Salem advances, knocking off Princess Anne tonight 33-0. Norview, the 2 seed in the 5A South, back in the playoffs for the first time in a decade, taking on 7 seed Kellum. Everybody trying to stay warm, tied at 14. Second half, Norview's E.J. Fasia, 19 yards up the middle. He pushes in for the touchdown. Norview appears to be in control after adding a field goal in the fourth to take a 10-point lead, but Kellum is known for running the football, and the Knights get the score from their quarterback, Justin Glazier, who takes it in for himself. Kellum now only down 3 points, and after a great stand by the Kellum defense, it's do or die for the Knights. Cody Elmer takes it up the middle, but the Norview defense with the stop. One more chance for the Knights. Justin Glazier airing it out for the win, but he is intercepted by Tyreek Jenkins as the Pilots hold on for a thrilling 3-point victory. What a season for Norview this year. One of the most intriguing games of the week, a rematch from last week. The 3-seed Indian River Braves hosting 6-seed Great Bridge. They defeated Indian River last week just before halftime. Indian River's Richard Quarles with the interception in the end zone, allowing Indian River to take a 13-7 lead into the locker room. Second half, Great Bridge goes to the air. Quarterback Jacob Wilson to Andrew Harmon. The sophomore walks in all alone for 6, and Great Bridge takes back a 14-13 lead. End of the third quarter, the Indian River's Braves defense holds on fourth down, and then quarterback Tyree Givers-Wilson delivers a dime right in the breadbasket of Kyron Best. Touchdown Indian River as they take back the lead, and the Indian River defense would do the rest. Indian River, having its best season in 18 years, moves on to the next round of the playoffs with a 28-14 win. And still to come, the Lake Taylor Titans are serious contenders for the 4A state championship, and their journey began tonight. Highlights of their big game against Lakeland are next, and we'll head to Bull Islander country where Poquoson tries to make a statement in the 3A playoffs against Southampton.
We are the Great Bridge Cheerleaders. We will have more playoff highlights next on Friday Night Flights.
How about a Band of the Week playoff encore? The fabulous Marching Clippers from Grafton High School, one of the best in the nation. Check out all the Bands of the Week from this season. Scores and highlights on all of our previous shows. Go to wavy.com and click on our Friday Night Flights webpage. And 4A South tonight, undefeated Lake Taylor appears to be the team to beat. The Titans began their quest for another state championship by hosting the Lakeland Cavaliers out of Suffolk. We're going to pick up the action in the third quarter. Lake Taylor driving, scoring on this option. Quarterback Shaquem Johnson and Desmond Palmer fake out the camera guy for the touchdown. The Lake Taylor defense was swarming all over the Cavaliers tonight. It looked like the entire defense was in there for this sack. Lake Taylor looking good as Desmond Palmer goes in for yet another score. Lake Taylor rolls to a 28-0 victory. Heritage, with only one loss this season, earned the 2 seed in the 4A South. The Hurricanes hosting 15-seed Churchland. We're going to pick it up in the third quarter again. Heritage and the Maroon up 14-3. Their defense steps up big. Defensive back Cavani Francois intercepts the ball, takes it 80 yards all the way back for the touchdown. The Hurricanes defense would continue to just play outstanding as Brandon Jones intercepts this trucker's pass inside their own 5-yard line to stop another drive. And then the offense would pour it on in the final quarter when quarterback Malik Deloach pump fakes, hits Amanye Watson for the score, and the Hurricanes roll to a 35-11 victory tonight over Churchland. Norcom came into tonight's game against Dinwiddie as the 8th seed in the 4A South. Dinwiddie in white, and they would strike first. Bryce with the quarterback keeper. He runs straight in from 15 yards out, and the Generals take a 6-0 lead. Still in that first quarter, Norcom punting the ball away, but it's blocked by Jaquan Tucker, and he's going to take it all the way back for the touchdown, 59 yards. Norcom in a 13-0 hole. They're not used to being behind. Here's the Greyhounds' outstanding running back, Charles Wiggs. Big game that led to a field goal, but this one goes to Dinwiddie. The Generals eliminate the Greyhounds, and next week it's Lake Taylor against Dinwiddie, a rematch. Oh, who can forget last year's game? 4A South Finals. Monacan eliminates Smithfield 46-14. Kings Fork all over Grafton 38-3. Booker T. Washington 40-37 over Powhatan. Hanover ends tab season 32-14. So next week it's Kings Fork against Booker T. Washington. Poquoson earned the 4th seed in the 3A East region this season. The Islanders brought an 8-2 record into its matchup against 13 seed Southampton tonight. Coach Elliott Duty would watch his Islanders take an early lead when Ethan Bryce would get the handoff, and the outstanding runner would take it in for the score, putting Poquoson up 21-0. Bryce would go over 1,000 yards for the season in this game. The Indians respond. Kobe Williams takes it in for a touchdown, but that is the only score that they would get, as the Islanders defense would shut them out the rest of the way. Poquoson with a 28-6 win tonight. 3A East scores. Lafayette, the top seed in the region, 52-6. York moves on. The Falcons 34-8 winners over Armstrong. Another encore for one of our Friday Night Flights bands of the week from this season, the Marching Wolverines of Woodside High School in Newport News. Again, see all the bands of the week and get all of the past Friday Night Flights shows. Go to wavy.com, click on our Friday Night Flights webpage. 2A East Finals, Bruton loses to Riverheads. Clark County eliminates Nandua. 1A East, Akeem Briggs helped lead Surrey County to a 16-12 victory over Franklin. Sussex Central loses to Rappahannock. So here are your matchups for next week in Group 6A South. Top seed, undefeated Ocean Lakes will take on Kecoughtan from Hampton. 10-1 Oscar Smith against 9-2 Cox. Group 5A South, Salem will face the winner of tomorrow's game between Green Run and Hampton, while 10-1 Norview will take on 8-3 Indian River. 4A South matchups for next week. Undefeated Lake Taylor, the top seed, will take on Dinwiddie. Last season, the Generals eliminated the Titans from the playoffs. Booker T. Washington will face off against Kings Fork from Suffolk. Bookers are 6-4. Kings Fork 9-2. So that is it for the first week of the playoffs, and what a night it was. Our special playoff edition of Friday Night Flights continues next week. Congratulations to all the teams that made the playoffs. What a great season this year, but still 4 weeks to go. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.